Okay.
I feel like I'm in Tron 3 Air Race. That's the color scheme for the...
That's just a focus assist.
That motion tracking. Far out, dude.
We're getting better and better at this thing.
We only have 4. Jeff, can you come back in? We only have 5 devices for this. Do you have any extra devices that we can use?
I got some AirPods you can have if you want.
Just delay.
Low barrier tools. I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not.
It gets the people going.
Welcome to the Immersive Lens, the podcast exploring the technologies reshaping how we live, work, and learn.
From AI and virtual reality to creative media and design, we're diving into the tools and ideas shaping our connected world.
Join us as we uncover the people and ideas driving the next wave of interactive experiences.
This is the Immersive Lens.
How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good. Did you hear what's going on with the AI actor Tilly Norwood?
Just the headlines. Tell me more about it. Have you been following it?
Yeah. So I read a little bit about it. I guess the
Wait, and this is the Tilly Norwood, the AI actress that you were telling us about a few weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Completely fictitious character. I don't know how she was created, so I don't know what the AI learned on.
Yeah, the training side.
But they are making her in a History Channel documentary, and they're going to use her as, the host that would possibly jump from modern to whatever the decade is that they're talking about.
So just transform right then and there into period costumes?
Exactly. And then start whatever the engagement or whatever the scenario is for that time period.
Interesting. This is just so hard for me to wrap my head around, because in my mind I'm like, yeah, we've had CGI for 20 years. This is not a hard thing. But
right.
this is something completely different, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's interesting because if we don't say she's AI, everyone would just assume that it is post-production work where you would just be compositing. Yeah. And there's still going to be that. I think what they're doing is they're taking old videos and old stills, and then they're going to use AI to help kind of bring them to life. And then they're going to use her integrated as the host. But, you would do something similar. You shoot someone on a green screen, composite them into whatever you're doing. So it's interesting. I think it's definitely a different use for this. And I'm wondering if it's more work or less work than actually recording somebody.
I was just thinking I was in a commercial. I don't like to brag once, but I was in a commercial once.
Whoa.
You could see my hand.
Whoa.
Anyhow, I was
hand model.
I was a hand model. And it was just some small potatoes commercial in Rochester, and they had catering and they had makeup and they had costume, and it was for a 30-second spot. So when I think about movies and TV shows, I'm like, wow, there must be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 people on the crew. So this, if you don't have to worry about makeup, you don't need catering, you don't need you save a lot of money, I suppose, right?
Yeah. And I think that, when I look at this stuff, we were just talking about it, but Photoshop has it. There's different applications that you can take old photos and, clean up the scratches, make them full color. And you have these tools now that can actually bring static images to life. So it's really interesting to see where it's making that leap.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'll watch it. It'll make me watch the History Channel.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it's integrated and how she's integrated, because we haven't really seen consistent character AI. You know what I mean? Where we can see that character in multiple scenes and different roles, and it actually looks like her.
Yeah, there's always a decay or an erosion of their likeness from scene to scene.
Yeah, the eyes are slightly different. The nose is slightly different. Yeah. Maybe there's a mold that's not there. There's those really subtle things that that sometimes the AIs just miss or don't do. But
this is interesting. It kind of reminds me of my metaphor for AI. So this will take out a lot of the work, but still, once that video is done, that's kind of when the human work begins. Now you have to doctor it up. Now you need to fix it in post and stitch it together. So this is a good metaphor for saying AI gets you in the ballpark, but maybe you got to do the real work on your own.
Right, because I don't think they're going to just do, make Tilly Norwood XYZ, put them in this time period. I think they're going to have her solo, and then they're going to do the same thing for a background, and then you're going to use something to composite everything together.
Yeah, so it's more work than just typing in a prompt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that, like you said, I think it alleviates some of the, maybe you don't need 15 actors to recreate a scene.
Yeah.
Now you can use this. But
cool. I'm excited.
How about you? Anything going on or anything that you came across this?
Yeah. So it's wild. It's only been 5 or 6 days since we talked last. And last Friday, the New York Times hard fork, I'd like to say friend of the pod, but they don't know we exist. They ran a piece about this history professor who's really engaged with AI. And he's testing the newest models. There's some websites you can go to test them. And he was testing a model that he kind of assumed was Gemini 3, which hasn't been released yet.
Okay.
And his workflow is he takes, in this case, I don't know, documents from the 1800s and 1700s from like a sugar distributor. And so it's just a ledger. Mm-hmm. And he usually scans it in, has AI kind of like make sense of it. And it was able to do math in conversions that were contextual, that was not really based on what the document was. It was taking a leap of faith. And the words from this professor were, models shouldn't be able to do this. This is operating at a level above what we have been using.
Wait, so can you explain that? I don't quite understand it. So it's a ledger, but the AI system didn't know it was a ledger, and
it made, so this ledger had weights in different units, and it had different amounts of money and different distributions for who was going to what. In large language models are historically bad at math because it's actually not doing math. It's just looking in the past. So if you ask AI, hey, what's 2 + 2? It knows it's 4, not because it knows 2 + 2 is 4, but because there's a billion different documents that say 2 + 2 is 4. But
right.
When you start doing more novel, unique math, you really lose fidelity in those calculations. So not only was the math right, but it was able to infer, it had a reasoning that we haven't seen before in AI.
Oh, so it saw like, this was $5, this was £6, there's 8 units of this, and and it said, wait a minute, this kind of looks like a something that we can put together in a spreadsheet or something, and it started like
and look for trends, insights. So it was a step above where we've been with AI.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so that was on Friday, and today's Tuesday, November 18th, and right before this podcast started, literally you and I were just sitting here, I got access to Gemini 3, which came out today.
Oh,
and so this history professor was thinking, I think this might be Gemini 3, and lo and behold, it is Gemini 3, and Gemini 3 is wild. You just saw me make a video game while we were getting the mics ready and everything. So Gemini 3 is out, and it's really remarkable because when ChatGPT came out, Google was kind of caught. They didn't anticipate it. And then they released Bard, which was their first iteration. I don't know if you remember that. It was kind of garbage.
Yeah.
And Gemini, when it first came out, wasn't all that great. But right now, I think Gemini 3 is really making Sam Altman and the rest of the people at OpenAI really a little concerned.
Yeah, I'm really liking what it's producing. I haven't really got to play with Gemini specifically too much, but the amount I've been able to play with it, it's producing really good content. And what did you use the game? I saw the game it was just straight Gemini?
Just straight Gemini. I went to the Gemini app. Actually, I was at gemini.google.com and I just said, make this game. And I described it. You saw it was probably like 3 or 4 sentences and it was awesome.
Oh, and it was all web-based?
All web-based, yeah.
Now, you said when we were doing that it was learning off of your previous prompts.
Sure.
So do you have that turned on or something with history, or?
No, AI has gotten to a point where it kind of learns across prompts. Because remember, when you first came, chats were context specific when we first came to AI, but now it does a much better job of learning who you are.
Okay, and you would have to be logged in with an account, right?
Yes.
So it can have background on you.
Yep, and know your preferences. And the other thing that happened with Google yesterday was they dropped Weather Next 2, which is a weather modeling AI, and it exceeds the current gold standard right now.
What does that? Can you give a little more background? I don't even know what Weather Next is.
Weather Next is a weather prediction. So think of like meteorologists and weather people on the news. Meteorologists are using models, historical models, to predict the weather. And Weather Next 2 is the AI-powered version of that. And it is so far exceeding what is currently the gold standard for meteorology.
Wow. So it takes all the radar data, all the historical data, and then looks at the patterns, and then now can make more accurate predictions on the weather.
That's right.
Than many
Than
meteorologists.
Than any system.
Oh, system. Okay. All right. So Doppler radar 1.
Doppler radar 1 is so 1990s. That's old school, man. It's all about weather next.
No, I was just going to say. And now here with WeatherNet 2. Very cool. And so
what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about the low barrier media development tools. And
low barrier media development tools.
And I think this is a phrase that I think you really coined for me, because I'm so used to Adobe products that you're like, these tools are lowering the barrier for people to execute on some things that they might want to do. So for instance, if somebody wants to create a infographic, like a visual, maybe they don't know Photoshop, maybe they don't know Illustrator to create all the icons needed, maybe they don't know how to use Excel correctly.
It took me like 10 years to make an infographic in like Illustrator or Photoshop.
Right. So there's these tools now that exist that kind of help you, so you don't necessarily need to know how to create an icon or develop an infographic. You could integrate it.
Is Canva like the canonical one that most people would recognize?
I think so. Canva is very popular, and it's becoming more and more integrated into a lot of different platforms. Okay. And so Canva,
I can make an infographic there in like 5 minutes, but it took me 5 years in Illustrator.
Right. Well, and so I think that's what we're talking about when we're talking about low barrier media development. Gotcha. And it was interesting because when you bring that up to me, I'm so ingrained into like Adobe and production, and I'm just like, but you can do all this, but you're like, yeah, but I don't have Adobe, or I don't know how to do XYZ, so this is perfect for me. And I'm like, okay, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, like that's your core job responsibility is knowing all that stuff. My core job responsibility is to, like, if I need to make a video, in the past I'd probably have to pay someone to do it, or just live without a video, or worst case scenario, like jam my face in front of a camera and it would just be a video of my face, and that's kind of it.
Yes, and I think that not only is the software coming around to make it more accessible, but I think it is also the technology. So like, most laptops, most devices have a camera now, right? So now we can use that as a way to record. And so
I remember when screen recording came out and I could actually record my desktop or my PowerPoint or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's kind of nice.
Right.
Like now it's my face or the PowerPoint. Like I could choose between the two of them.
Yes, and we're going to talk about it in a minute, but you can even create avatars now.
Oh my gosh.
And so if you don't want to be on camera, and there's some, I have some students that are very hesitant to be on camera.
Sure.
But they can pick an avatar that represents them, like a more, not a real person, but like a character.
Like a cartoony.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they could use that character as their
so tell me about that. Tell me, like, what software are you talking about that's the low barrier media production?
So for me, the two that I've been using, and the one that I use the most is Adobe Express.
Okay.
So
is that free?
So there's a free version. Okay. Like you can do some minor things, but then you'd have to pay for a subscription. And they have different tier models for that. But it's all web-based. Most of these tools are tools that you don't need to download. I think that's the other barrier that many people have. I have many students, for instance, that they're like, I tried to install Photoshop and I don't have, my computer can't support it, right? So when we're looking at a low barrier media development tool, I think we're also looking at, is it web-based? Is it accessible from any system? I mean, you're not going to believe this. Some people have Chromebooks, and
my gosh,
and you have to. Dave has a Chromebook.
I'm on my Chromebook right now. But it's collaborative. If it's web-based, then it's collaborative. So you can share with me and we can work at the same time.
Yep, it's collaborative, and it's not reliant on the system having such power that, it needs to run it.
You're not going to believe this, but some people have high-powered MacBook Pros.
Yes, that would be...
Paul has one right now.
Yes.
All right. So that's nice. You can do it on any device.
Yep. And so with Adobe Express, you can go on to any web browser, you type it in, and then they have different tool sets. So If you're trying to do social media posts, you can identify the social media platform that you want to target. So if it's like Instagram, or if you wanted to do a video and then you want it like a TikTok or Instagram Reel or
We'll
YouTube.
do it vertical.
Yep, it'll do it vertical, it'll do it horizontal. The cool thing about these tools are also, let's say I produce a video that is on TikTok, or I'll say YouTube. So traditional landscape, TV aspect ratio.
Yep.
When I export it, it will say, do you also want a vertical version of this?
Oh.
And you can click it and it will try to rework it so the text is positioned and aligned in that.
So your face doesn't get cut off?
Yeah, and that's a little more difficult, but it can control more of the text. So it can scale the text down and whatnot.
That's cool.
And so
it saves you a lot of work.
Oh yeah, if I wanted to do both versions. And it's really cool because I show the students how to use this they do a social media takeover where they can create these posts and it has to adhere to some guidelines, but they can do really simple animations. They can do avatars, so you can pick a character, and they can and a lot of these kids had really creative approaches to doing, using the avatars, but then they also shot video on their phone and then just uploaded it directly to the template as well. So
that's actually really cool if you're collaborative too, because you can have 3 or 4 people getting the video, the parts they're responsible for in a collaborative video.
Yes, and you can also create a branding. So in Adobe Express, I can put the logos and everything, and they can all have access to it. So I don't have to share it with them in a different.
So can they do color palettes too and fonts? Oh, so you can. Oh, that's really, really nice.
Yeah.
I see the wisdom there now.
And so Canva is similar, right? It's all web-based. Mm-hmm. You can, there's a paywall there as well. So if you want the advanced AI features where you can prompt it to do certain things. I think there's some AI features that are free and then some more that are not.
Yeah, I think I do media, image generation maybe. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a similar tool. I mentioned to you last time, it's now integrated with ChatGPT, so you can type Canva and it'll launch and give you options.
Oh yeah, that's bonkers.
And, so that's a cool integration. And I believe Adobe Express has a integration into it now too, because they can do it with any web-based tool.
Oh no. Oh.
So as long as it's a web, it can communicate web-based, then I think that it can interact with it. So it's been really...
So ChatGPT can interact
with Express too. Yep. So very, I guess, tools that can do a lot. They can create infographics. Yep. So you can, we talked about that at the beginning. You can just tell it has AI capabilities. So you can say, create an icon that is a coffee cup. They probably already have an icon that you could do a search for that. But, if you want it more specific, you could copy and paste the data from Excel into there, and it can try to formulate a infographic that way.
Oh, geez.
And Canva does the same thing. So you have the ability to use both, in a similar way. But I know a lot of people love Canva and just completely swear by it for everything from presentations to the graphic development.
I used to work at a different college, and the graphic design person said PowerPoint made it really easy to make really bad presentations really quickly. And I kind of think Canva makes it really easy to make really good presentations really quickly.
Yes.
The design element, and it's just fantastic.
Yes. And it's interesting because it was, to me, the history of this is it started with PowerPoint, then Keynote came along, which is Apple's version.
And it's pretty good.
And Keynote was we're going to dress this place up a little bit. But now I do feel it's you look at Canva and the templates that they have and the starting points, and it looks so, I know when people are using Canva because it's so clean and you can do different styles, but there's a little, you could see there's a creativity, you're oh, we're not starting from way back when.
Sure.
This is all new designs.
It's fresh and new.
Exactly. So I really think that it's a tools that you should try to explore if you're out there and you're interested. It's all web-based, so you don't need to worry about what computer system you have. I think that it's a great tool. And you were talking about another tool that you're really excited about that's in the same framework.
In the same category. And don't sleep on this, Paul. Don't sleep on Google Vids.
Google Vids.
Google Vids.
So it's a video editor?
It is more than that.
What is it?
So imagine Google Slides.
Okay.
Google Slides is nice, but it's a slideshow. So if you're presenting, or if it's, say you put it on your website or in your course, the user, whoever's watching it, has to hit spacebar, the next button to pop up the next slide, and then text will come up.
Right.
So that's a presentation. Google Vids is the analog of that. When you look at the software, it looks very similar. It has a lot of shared DNA with Google Slides, but it's for video editing. And now the experience is you embed that on your website, and it's a video. The user does not need to interact with it, and you say, like, in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, have this text pop up and have it. And it has different effects like slide in, slide out. So you can make these really. I can really punch up with my video production skills. So I can now record myself on my phone or my computer, because it has a button to record right from your website or your webcam.
Right.
So I can embed video. I can bring videos in. I can record videos. I can record my desktop, and it puts it on the canvas, and then I can make it smaller or bigger. I can have 2 or 3 videos on the same slide, and I can say, wait for this video is 2 minutes long. At the 2-minute mark, start playing this other video that you've been able to see the whole time. So you create the timing for it.
So can I ask you?
Yeah.
Video background right now, but is there a timeline?
There is a timeline per slide. They call them scenes.
They call them scenes.
Yes.
But so that's how you do your. So it's not like old school PowerPoint where it's like, animation 2 minutes.
Correct.
And then
it's a sliding timeline. So if I have 3 objects, maybe some text pops up, and then title slides across the top, and then I have some clip art that just like explodes on. Each one has a slider, and I can say, okay, I want it to last 6 seconds, and I want it to come in here, so you can slide and make it look nice.
So the output of this is not like a flattened MP4. This is a certain file or an embed or something. So you can export as an MP4 and upload that to YouTube. But what I really like doing, and this is the power that I haven't seen in anything else, is I can actually embed that. And we can talk about embedding later. Yeah.
But that's basically, you can take this and put it on your website. So when I change the Google Vids, the change is already there on your website. I don't need to go back in and re-upload it to the website. So if you have that video in 3 places, you update it in the Google Vids, and it pushes it out everywhere.
And to the user, it's perceived as a straight video. So we use Brightspace here for our learning management system for our students, and so I could take this code. It's like an embed code, and I can paste it into one of our modules.
Sure.
So the student clicks on it, and it just plays like a video.
Just plays like a video, and it has the closed captioning, and it has the gear wheel where if you want to make it go a little bit faster.
Oh, so literally like a video.
Oh, yeah.
And is there back and next? Is it like a traditional presentation too, or is it not? Is it video?
It presents as a video, even though it's not technically a video.
So there's I call it a scrubber.
Yep.
You can just scan it like you would in YouTube.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So the user thinks it's a video.
The user thinks it's a
video.
video.
And then you can go in the back end back into Google Vids.
Yep.
And say, I'm going to re-record this, and then save it, or I don't know what you do.
You don't save it. It's just like any other
auto-save.
Google Doc. It's autosave. So, for instance, I have a video in a course that I'm teaching right now, and it could be a website, whatever.
Right.
So I have it in my course, and I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, I really need to set the stage. So the video just kind of jumps into whatever the content was.
Right.
And so this afternoon, I just recorded myself for like 30 seconds saying, okay, now let's take a look at this topic. And then I just put that right in the Google Vids, like in the first slide. And I didn't have to go into my course and upload anything. It was just there. So
if they were to open it up right now, if a student, they'd see the update you just made.
And their experience might be different yesterday or today, so I try not to make it very jarring. But so there's a few things I like about this. One is I know in working in online learning specifically, but this is true for any type of video production, there is often this, it's not perfect, I don't want to ship it. And when I say ship it, I mean like put it in your course.
Right.
And this gives me the space and the permission to ship it, put it in my course, knowing I can go back the next day and maybe change the colors or add another scene. So it's now gives me this progression where I can build on it. And there's another secret weapon to this whole thing that I didn't even tell you about. So in the sidebar, it gives me access to stock footage. So I can search. And I was doing this video and I needed stock footage of a frying pan. So I could have hit the stock footage button and find the frying pan or cast iron, whatever it was.
Right.
But it also has Google VO3 embedded in. That's the video generation, the AI texted video. So
because this is all Google.
It's all Google. And if you have the Gemini subscription, then I just hit that VO button and I said, I need footage of a frying pan, but I customize it. I was like, I want it to be older and I want it to have like eggs on one side and hash browns on the other. I may have found that in stock footage. I might not have, but I could definitely create it. So it has this whole video production thing is right there. The whole pipeline. I can do the B-roll, that like extra footage.
Yeah.
It does have avatars. It's not quite like what you were describing, but it has avatars you can choose from. And it has all these other like AI tools built in. So it's just, even without the AI tools, so if you don't have Gemini Pro, it's still so cool. It's so awesome.
That is really, really cool. So you have the ability to also add B-roll, which is that extra footage. So if you're talking about the, I don't know, like airplanes.
Sure.
And, you don't have any footage of it, you could technically say, give me a picture of a B-1 bomber.
A video
of that's really cool.
Yeah, which is nice because for videos, now it's not just my ugly mug. It's my ugly mug, but then I can, while I'm talking, we'll have the SR-71 or the B-2 bomber or whatever,
right.
And then it'll come back to my face and then I can share my desktop. So it's really heightened my game of video production. And it's done it very, very easily and organically.
So you can even have a screencast of your desktop too while you're doing it? Oh, that's great.
And one of the nice things for all the nerds out there is if you are recording your face and the desktop, it's two different streams. So it's not just my desktop with my face on it. The desktop is a video and my face is a separate video.
So it's two layers.
Two layers.
So you could turn it off if you wanted to.
Yeah, I can make my face bigger and then make it smaller, all the while the desktop is in the background. It's just really, really sweet.
That's so cool.
Google Vids. Don't sleep on it, Paul. Don't sleep on it.
I'll definitely be trying it out.
Sweet.
So is there anything particular as far as educators go that do you think that, I just explained the Adobe Express and Canva and
for educators, I think both Express, Canva, and Canva actually, if you're in a K-12 school, Canva gives you the Pro for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is awesome. So if you're an educator, don't sleep on that either. But what I appreciate about all three of these products, the Express, Canva, and Google Vids, is that it is collaborative. So it's so much easier when you're working, in this case, with learners. But if you're at a business and you're doing some social media campaign, it is still collaborative. You can have multiple people working on it. So I think those are the strengths. And again, I'll never be at the proficiency you're at with Photoshop, Illustrator, or Premiere, After Effects, all those Adobe products. But I'm okay with that because I have this and this is good enough for what I do.
Yeah, and it seems like it does everything you need, and it looks like it's getting easier, and the ability to do more is like right around the corner every week.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, they just released this. They just released that.
It's bonkers. We're gonna have to start recording every day.
Right. So that's really cool. I think that that is something that's interesting because for the collaboration aspects of it, I know I have students use Google Slides for that reason. So they are all responsible for different slides. So they don't need to be together necessarily side by side.
Yeah, and they can do it asynchronously. And
yes.
I'm sure you know about this, but they added, so they did have slide templates in Google Slides, but they added something called, what is it called? Under the templates, like on the sidebar, which is different than where they lived before, they have these really, really high-end templates, and when you click on one, it gives you all the different slides, so you can import them one at a time. But they're like Canva, where the design is done for you. So if you use Google Slides templates in the past, they've really revamped that.
Oh, nice. And I bet you it's in direct competition because they're seeing what Canva and Adobe Express are doing, so they're like, oh, we better step it up.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that these tools are useful. I think that because there's such a low barrier that any student can use it, and you're not restricted by having a high performance computer, which is, I think, a really big thing for many students because they don't have access to a high-end computer.
Yeah.
So they have the ability to use it. And then I think that if you're an educator and you need to create videos, like you said, and maybe you don't have Premiere, you don't know Premiere.
Yeah, I'll never know Premiere.
you can use the Google Vids.
Yeah.
And you can create and screencast and you can do avatars. So you can do just about everything inside of just that one tool.
Yeah, and it's probably a little bit limited. My final product would be so much lower grade than your final product, but it's really good for me. And it's empowering. But I think really one of the most powerful things about it is I look at these YouTube videos, I'm like, oh, I don't have that video production, but now I'm well on my way. I'm a lot better than I was 2 weeks ago.
Right. And I think that's the important thing here is that there's a lot of tools out there, and because there's such low barriers that you can achieve just about anything you can think about now. And I think AI helps with that.
Yeah.
I think these tools, these web-based tools help with that. Now there's always a subscription with most of these things. I think Google for the most part is free unless you use the AI.
The AI pieces. Yeah.
Right. So I think that's a great resource. And I'm really interested in doing that video, Google Vids, because I think that's so cool that you can update it on the fly.
Oh, it's a game changer. It's a game changer.
But awesome. Well, I hope you learned a little bit more about the low barrier media development for everyone out there.
And I learned that I will never use Premiere. I will never be able to figure it out. It's too complicated for me.
No, it's good. They're making it easier and easier too, but they're also adding more and more features.
Oh my goodness.
But all right, so that's all the time we have for today. I'm Paul Engin.
And my name is Dave Ghidiu. This episode was engineered by Jeff Kidd.
And recorded at Finger Lakes Community College Podcast Studios, located in beautiful Canandaigua, New York, in the heart of the Finger Lakes region, offering more than 55 degrees, certificates, micro-credentials, and workforce training programs.
Thank you to the Public Relations and Communications, Marketing, and the FLX AI Hub.
Eager to delve into a passion, discover exciting and immersive opportunities at www.flcc.edu.
As part of our mission at FLCC, we are committed to making education accessible, innovative, and aligned with the needs of both students and employers.
The views expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official position of Finger Lakes Community College.
Music by Den from Pixabay.
This is the Immersive Lens. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and thanks for looking through the Immersive Lens with us.
Let's be careful out there. Jeff? That's a wrap. That's how you know it's a wrap.